At the stream. Hello.
Right. Are we live?
Wally boy. Yeah, we live.
My food just
live.
arrived.
Your food just arrived. Amazing.
Where's
Great timing.
No problem.
Hey guys, welcome to the first ever episode of the MMA World Podcast, the lockdown series, but this is officially episode 44 with me, Ricky Wright, and James Wallis. Brett Johns will be here with us very shortly. Of course, Brett, it wouldn't be the same without Brett arriving late.
Yeah, he's always late. We should have told him it was 6 o'clock.
Yep, that's right. So, yeah, welcome to the MMA Wales podcast. This is a new one for we'll be going live on our Facebook live stream and, of course, on YouTube as well. So, whichever medium you decide to watch it in. How have you been, James?
Bored.
Bored, yeah.
Yeah, well, pretty much yourself.
I've been keeping busy. You know, the first 3 weeks I didn't leave my couch. You know, I just sat on my bum and decided if I didn't need to wear a tuxedo anymore, I didn't need to fit into one either.
Living the shorts and flip flop life.
And then about the other day I was like, nah, this is going to end one day. I want to be shredded. Oh, hang on, Brett's looks like he's coming in.
Trying to join.
There we go.
Where is he?
There he is.
Is he now? I can't see him.
Brett. Here he is. Brett Johns.
My name is Brett.
Yo.
He's in.
Yeah.
Can you hear me fine? Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
So, Brett, what have you been doing other than growing a tash?
Why is it? Is it strong?
Freddie Mercury's joined the building.
What's happening then?
You all right?
Yeah.
Yo,
just
so
no.
So
mate, your grub don't look like my grandma. My kebab just arrived.
Oh, look
and it's in
that.
a meat tray.
Oh my god, that's glorious. That does.
That's a week's worth of your calories, I think. Oh,
I think so.
To be honest, what it is me and my missus shared it. She just took half of hers upstairs.
Sharing.
Yeah. And she took half of hers upstairs. She's supposed to take the baby and the dog with her, but she's left them. She's left the dog. That's the sulky in here next to me because you can see the meat tray.
Oh, he's got dead.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that. But it's just a high protein meal.
I just had stir fry because it's like as if we were in Swansea in the studio where they make really good stir fries.
Yeah,
they do
Japanese.
stir fry.
But our studio right now has been turned into an hospital. So
yeah.
Hopefully, when this is over, they leave all the equipment air conditioning for us to put events on.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Now, where we do the podcast, though, that's fine. Still, they haven't touched that end. It's just the other end. So we'll be good to go as soon as this is over.
So last time we did a podcast was before Brett went and yourself went out to America.
Yeah.
What, we haven't done one since then?
Haven't done one since then. So this is the first.
Really?
Yeah. So this is the first podcast back. So it would be quite appropriate if we say, "Congratulations, Brett! You got the win."
Well done, and you win back in January.
Well done.
Rick, do you hear something embarrassing though? I should have fought on Saturday, so we shouldn't speak about that one really. But there we are.
Yeah.
But,
so we'll start with your win. We'll start with your win in January. I mean, and your experience out there. I'm sure the MMA Wales listeners would love to hear how it went out there with both you guys. What was it like?
Yeah, it was a hell of a trip, to be honest. If I'm completely honest, I think it was probably one of the best ones I'd done. I remember we got there. It took me a few days to try and get my stride, really. But then I remember one certain pad session me Wally did in Hard Knocks 365, and it was towards the end of that Miami experience. I felt brilliant, you know. Having said that, the fight itself didn't really go the way I wanted it to go, but it is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we had one job, and the job was to get back in the win column. We've done that. Now we can now that we've blown the cobwebs away, it's back to trying to get into that top 10 scenario.
Yeah.
It was nervous. It was, wasn't it? I think because the two
Yeah.
losses, it was nervous times getting the win. And I think that's why the fight went away it did, because it was two guys knowing like they didn't want the other one on top. So
yeah, it was so scrap. I watched the fight yesterday, and believe it or not, I haven't watched a lot of fights in the past like 3 weeks. And I thought, you know what, I'll log into my brother's fight pass, and I'll have a little watch of a few fights,
Too tight to go and fight back.
I won't pay for a fight back, but I ended up watching the fight back, and it was a scrappy fight. And to be honest, it wasn't a good fight really. When I watched the fight back, I wasn't happy. There was a lot of things I did wrong, but then again, there is pros and cons to this. And I think the pro is really, I got the win, so I'm not happy, far from it, but it's on to the next one now.
The guys we spoke to out there were surprised that he managed to wrestle Tony the way he did. So there's positives to everything. I wanted to see more punching and kicking, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, and obviously looking back, I wouldn't so much change nothing, because obviously I got the win, but that would be one of the ones I probably would have done a bit more of the stand up. It was one of them ones where I would have loved to have showcased that a bit more, because I think that was more or less something we practiced the most on in that camp, really. And we didn't get used to it much,
But at the end of every combination in that fight, somebody was going to try and
wrestle. Yeah.
Or if not wrestle, connect. If not shoot, wrestle. So
that's
it's difficult.
That was something I watched. Yeah, because that was something when I was watching the fight back earlier, I watched my fight, and I thought, you know what, I'll go and watch Sterling fighting Pedro, and I could see the mistakes that I was doing in the Gravy fight that wouldn't be good enough to fight them two guys at the minute. So I know what I need to do, I know what I need to work on, and it is what it is. I've been working on things in quarantine. Obviously, the only thing I'm lacking is that contact with people. That's the thing I'm lacking at the minute. Everything else though, my fitness is good, my weight is good. It's just lacking that grappling and sparring stuff,
Yeah, I got a comment from Gary Davis here. You always give 100%, Brett, pal. So thank you.
Deal, Gary. Thank you.
Yeah, but no, it was a good fight to get done, wasn't it? It was a good a good win. Everything clicked together correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember you were there, Wal, and they were usually when you're the first fight or the first couple of fights on the night, you're the first ones in the venue. So I was they come up to me and they said, "Oh look, would you like to have a little walk around the cage and all that?" And I thought, yeah, we'll have a go at that, because I don't usually get to do it. I don't think I've done that since UFC Belfast, So I done UFC Belfast, and then they give us opportunity to walk in the cage and stuff. And when I walked in there, the nerves hit me hard. Then I started crying in the cage, and the show hadn't even started yet,
I got that on video.
Yeah, that was you crying?
Yeah, I always whenever
Ronnie gets his camera out, I cry.
No, I filmed walking in the stadium because I thought it'd be because it was empty and it was a really nice stadium. I thought it'd be nice to get that, because we walked in the fighters' entrance before it was open, and then we was looking around the cage, and then he started crying, and so I started filming him.
my honestly, when someone says their head was gone, I think my head was gone at that point. I was I'd had enough by that point. I just wanted to get in there. I think a two-year layoff or whatever it was, and I was just happy just to be finally there, because to me it just felt like I was absolutely miles away from that point, and that 2 years was very, very long, and it was nice to get in there.
Fun fact, Ricky.
Yeah.
Brett was given the option to either fight on that show or UFC London, and he wanted to do London. And
Yeah.
he said, no, Brett, take the January fight. You might be in a fight again in March. Imagine you waited until London. We'd be having a different conversation then, wouldn't we?
Climbing up the walls.
Yeah.
So
I'd be in dust right now. I couldn't even afford a box of Cheerios.
You wouldn't have the feeler jumping on.
I wouldn't have my feeler on then.
Again, you got the win, and you were meant to fight this weekend just gone, and obviously that fell apart. I mean, how did you receive the news? How far back was it, or was it just so obvious it was going to happen at that point?
I still haven't had the news that I'm not fighting yet, and the fight was on Saturday. You know, so like that's what I told them. I said, look, at the end of the day, I'll be completely honest.
You should have made weight like Tony.
Honestly, I was going to. My weight is down at the minute. My weight looks good. Like, you know, I that's one thing I said to myself in quarantine. I spoke to Wally and I spoke to Taylor and Shaky before going to quarantine. I just said, look, I'm gonna keep my weight down, just in case, really, that we get out of quarantine and my weight is down and ready to go. So, you know, usually I walk around at about 161 to 165, which is quite big for a 135er. And like I'm 153 now, like, you know, so my weight is down. I'm training as much as I can, but it's all cardio-based stuff. But I'm ready then for like whatever they want to do. I'm ready. I can take a fight in 6 weeks' notice. So once we're out of quarantine and I get sparring and I get grappling in, then I'm able to go 6 weeks from there. I can go and fight, you know. So that's what the plan is, really.
I'm sure there was more than 153 when we got to Miami.
Yeah, probably. So that's all I've been doing in quarantine, really. You know, at the end of the day, it's like this is a good opportunity for people to try something new out, no matter what it is. Like for me personally, I've been doing loads of things on my Depop, my Depop account, which is like a clothes selling site. So I've been trying to like make a couple of quid on that, which has been really successful, really strangely. So I've been doing bits on that. I've been obviously doing bits on my running, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware of. Like just before this podcast, that's why I'm a bit late turning up. I just finished a 5 mile run. So you know, at the end of the day, it's what's happening, Paddy? So basically, you know, it's like at the end of the day, I'm Ricky James. I'm fit at the minute. I am super fit at the minute. You know.
I tell you what's going to happen after this lockdown. There's going to be a lot of fighters that are fit, ready to go, and not injured. Because the problem you got is people will not stay off the mat, right? But nobody's had the option to stay off the mat. I give you obviously Brett's shoulder. Shoulder feeling better, Brett? Yeah.
It's the first time. It's the first time I've thrown a right hook in about 2 years. It's the God's honest truth.
Rory Evans has had some bad news about his good knee. His good knee's now bad, but and he thought he was gonna have to have another op, the same as he did on his other knee. But the doctor said with good rehab, he'll get better. So now's the perfect time to be able to do the rehab. Whereas normally is that temptation to roll or temptation to hit something. And you can't. So, you know, there's always, you got to take the pros and everything. Just not, like I say to all the guys in the gym, like, I mean, just keep fit. Do you know what I mean? Just get fight, just get round fit. You know, do your circuits, do whatever it is to get round fit. You know, the technique isn't going anywhere, is it? So,
what I always say is the same boiling hot water that softens the potato hardens the egg. We're all in this saucepan beer now, but are we going to go like a potato and crumble, or are we going to be the hard-boiled egg and come out this better than we went in? Are we going to harden? And that's right. First 3 weeks of this, I was so lazy, but now I'm fitter than I've been in years just because I got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Well, I got a wife, so she's giving me plenty of things to do. You know, there's painting, there's digging holes, there's.
Well, Brett, haven't you moved into your new house?
You are?
Have you just moved into your new house?
No, I moved in probably December time. Probably we bought in August. I moved in December, but yeah, that's like James said. I've just got jobs to do. My missus is working, so she's in the hospital. And all of a sudden now she's like, oh, look, I need this done, that done, this done, that done. So if I don't do it as well, I'm in the doghouse. She's doing 12-hour shifts in the hospital.
You know what's funny?
Wow.
You think that's going to end soon, don't you?
Yeah.
You think, I tell you what, we
Yeah.
just moved in this house, this won't last long. But you know, like the first job you did, the first room you
Yeah.
painted, that's
Yeah.
the next one you're going to paint when you've done the last one.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how it goes. And you know the floor you just bought? That's the first floor you bought is the first one she's going to want to change. No. My mate's been here 5 years. She wants a new wooden floor. I put one down in the day we moved. I'm like, no, we don't need a different colour wood floor. Wood is wood. I like dark wood. I said, yeah, you've always liked dark wood. This is as dark as you wanted. It's staying.
I got a plan now, see, because like I got a good plan. I think if I do the jobs so bad, she won't ask me to do them again.
Oh, I've been a pro at that, mate. I've been a pro at that. Look, trust me.
Yeah,
it don't work.
Hey guys, we got a question here, guys.
Go on.
Can you read it?
Oh, wait up. Oh, there you are. Brett, what martial arts did you start off with? Congrats on the win. Thought your performance was amazing. You flew the Welsh flag with class. Thank you, boy. I started off with judo. My stepfather at 4 years old. You know, my mother took me to the nearest martial arts gym, and that was Ponterice Judo Club. And well, the rest is history. I don't do as much judo as I probably should. You know, it's tough to get around it now. Like my dad knows the situation. It's a bit like you have so many different martial arts you have to do, and without getting too deep into detail, like. You don't see a lot of judo and MMA, but you do see a lot of kickboxing and wrestling and grappling. So they're really the disciplines you should probably concentrate on more. So my dad knows that, and all fairness to him, you know, he's okay with that, you know.
Well, I think judo's really good against wrestling. You see, no, like when you see judo well, it's when it's used against wrestling. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, but check that by the way. Is a podcast I want to do. It's Brett's dad.
Why haven't we ever done that?
We got to get Bertie on the podcast.
Why haven't we ever done that?
I picked Matt from Brett's house, right? From Brett's dad's house. I picked Matt up there last year or something. And that same day, I was going away in the caravan with the missus and kid. We were 3 hours late for going away with the caravan because I stood outside Brett's dad's house talking to him. It was a Friday night. We were late for the all day. Honestly, He's well worth a chat.
We'll have to change the name of the podcast to the MMA Wales Judo Podcast.
Yeah.
It'll just be judo chat for a good 3 hours.
Does Welsh Judo have a podcast at all? Just
No, they don't even have a team at the minute.
Nah.
I don't think they do at the minute, the Welsh Judo team. You know?
I think it's the same as the boxing. They haven't got the internet.
That's true.
They're still in the 70s.
Yeah, that's the problem on it. I mean, like it's not it's like MMA's new, everyone's new, I suppose. With the judo, the guys are old school. It's an old school traditional martial art, like karate. Like karate now, you see is a piss take. You know, all these videos you see that aren't good.
Yeah,
but like I've seen karate guys who kill you. the old school. But these guys, they don't know how to push things forward in the new age. I think. Same as the boxing, the amateur boxing, Rick. You've seen what it's like. We moan about the white collar, and I will, put a good show on and advertise it. Don't put it Thursday night, bloody work myself. It's hard. It's hard. But I don't know. Perhaps we should be doing our bit to help people like the judo of Wales.
I'll be honest with you, mine. When it comes to like. Not that I'm biased. Like I'd say my dad is biased towards the sport. Very biased. He loves judo. If a new judo person comes on the MMA scene, he's the first person to know who it is, and like he's absolutely a massive fan of like people like Ronda Rousey, Kayla Harrison, Carlo Parisian. Guys who are like top level judokas in MMA.
Have you seen the new Ronda Rousey documentary on Netflix?
I watched about 40 minutes and I had to turn it off.
Was she too much?
Nah, I don't know what it was. Like look as a female athlete, she's absolutely fantastic. But some people you just don't get that sort of like, I don't know, I can't watch her, like, you know.
She can't take criticism.
Not at all. I hate that with someone. Like like, you know.
Did you see the video Darren Till put up the other day?
No, I didn't see that.
He was asking about Ron Road. Like, he's straight and he says, I don't care if people argue with me. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But he said the problem is you can't take criticism, and you got to, you know.
You have to. You have to
be able to take criticism. Like, you know, she disappears after a loss, doesn't she? You know, she doesn't address it.
And that's another thing as well. I didn't like her last fight. Because this is the only thing I remember from her last fight. Not the knockout of Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is absolutely class. But what stuck with me in her last fight was the fact that she on purpose missed media obligations. She had the special treatment. I didn't think that was fair. Amanda Nunes is doing nuts. She was like left alone. She didn't want to do this. She didn't want to do that. And I feel like everybody that jumps in this game has an equal playing field. That's the point. You don't get special treatment even at the top level. So like that's what kind of annoyed me about her. So when I watch something with her, it's very hard to get behind her because of that reason. My dad, on the other hand, loves her.
But your dad is the sort of guy who doesn't. He's old school enough. The media obligations isn't part of it.
No, exactly.
That my coach would be like, turn up and fight. That's it. Do you know what I mean? There's no selling of it. Do you know what I mean? So the media obligations is kind of new school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all to do with social media. It's all to do with what we're doing now. It's all to do with that now. It's all to do with pumping stuff. And I think
it's the last 10 years.
Yeah. Anything before that, people are like, why do that for? They don't understand it, like, you know.
When I started doing adrenaline 10 years ago this year, right? And it was posters and flyers. Yeah?
Yes,
going into the shops, talking to people. Yeah?
Yeah.
Halfway between now and then, the last few shows I've done, I haven't even printed a poster apart from the ones for the venues.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to put it in the venue, because nobody looks up, they look down. Do you know what I mean? So the way things are have completely changed. So the old media obligation thing, like videos now, we know trend better on social media. Go on.
Speaking of social media and how things are different these days, we've got a question here from your brother, Brett.
When's what? I don't know.
Isn't he in charge of all that? Isn't that his job?
It's his job. You're asking me about it.
Yeah,
I know why he's saying that. He's saying that because he's been doing it all day today. So obviously a lot of people are asking, like when the hat's coming online and stuff. I'm just waiting for this guy. Him and the Go Compare man are trying to do my website at the minute. So he's done, all fairness to Ashley, he's done a cracking little job on it. I've seen a little preview today. And he's done a good little job. So that should be coming up online over the next few weeks. And we got the hats and stuff in and the t-shirts in and everybody's been asking about them. They're finally in. I thought it'd be a really good idea to try and wait until after lockdown, get a bit more publicity, get a fight booked and stuff, and then put everything online. But we'll see what happens now.
Even in the Geraint Hill.
Shout out to our number one fan, Geraint Hill.
We'll have to
get Geraint on the podcast now that it's we're during a lockdown because otherwise he's got too much time for TikTok. Because
wow,
he's whipping the TikToks out for fun. So
I've actually seen one or two videos.
So guys, we've had a bit of we have had events since our last podcast. Of course, the Cage Warriors event up in Manchester, 2 Welsh fighters on. We had Chris Edwards and of course the champ Mason Jones. Did you watch the fights, guys?
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Where was it? Liverpool.
Yeah.
Manchester.
Yeah.
UFC It started off.
No.
It started off in
Cage Warriors London. It was the day before UFC, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they moved it to Manchester 4 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
In the BEC Arena, which is like a mad warehouse. They have raves and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, they didn't. It was behind closed doors, isn't it?
Yeah. So like about 4 or 5 days before, they moved the entire event to the BC Arena, and then they kept it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And did you watch the event?
I watched the boys' fights. I didn't watch it all.
I watched some of them,
I can't remember. Yeah, I watched the lads though. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of mad to watch because like there was no crowd, and I watched an interview with Brad Wharton, one of the commentators, and he was saying he was commentating on the fights, but then the fighters could hear what he was saying and just giving him the eye, like why you.
Well, you can hear yourself echo.
Yeah.
What did Bisping say? Was it Bisping said, "But to the millions around the world and the tens of people in the building." Was that Brazil, wasn't it? Brazil that being close. UFC Brazil.
Yeah.
He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for," and it was like no one there.
I love that Mick. I love Mick Maynard's post where he was like, there was no crowd there, and that's all he could do was Mick Maynard going, "Woo, woo," on his own, like, you know.
But back to it. I mean, Des had a hard fight.
Yeah,
tough scrap. Des did. Yeah,
tough fight. You know,
thing is with Dez's fight, he's always got that ability to, like when he's defensive, he's always got that ability to throw something.
Yeah.
Like, from the clinched victory from the jaws of defeat, and he's done that time and time again. But I think this guy, his opponent,
when he's defensive,
was looking out for, you know.
Yeah, like.
Why can I
he's a
victory from the.
That's my fault.
Brett's actually listening to us, is he?
I'm actually watching the podcast.
Hey, at least someone is.
No, I'm trying to share it on my social media. There we are.
All right.
But yeah. I think Dez's opponent studied Dez really well because when you think you've got it, when you think, oh, this fight is mine, that's when Dez strikes and you throw up a triangle or an armbar and he'll catch you, you know. And I think his opponent was so expecting something like that to happen. He made sure he didn't. And,
he's always been the same. He's always been that exciting to watch, Tony.
That's what I was about to say with Dez. Like I remember the Hislop fight, Brian Hislop, where I think Hislop was trying to get his way in the first round, and then he threw up that armbar in the second and caught him. He's always dangerous from every angle, Chris is, you know. And like I've managed to, especially the last few months, I've trained with him a lot, and man, he's a grafter. But the only difference between the Hislop fight and now is that he's not a flyweight. He is an F weight, but it isn't the flyweight. He's more of a featherweight now, you know.
Yeah. And then Mason Jones, I mean, I didn't expect anything different, to be honest. I thought he did exactly what everyone thought he was going to do. And
boy's a beast. I mean, it was nice that he managed to do it outside of Wales as well. Like Jack Marshman. I mean, like, obviously, Brett and Jack Shaw had a nice in Wales, didn't they? You know?
We had it easy.
No, but it was like nice that he did that. I'm super gutted for him that
there's no crowd there.
Not just that, because he did. You know, he didn't have to sell tickets, did he? You know,
he just
done business. But the lockdown kicked straight in. So then the glory of it all didn't. It was like everyone's talking about lockdown instead of talking about Mason's win. I mean, and I feel a bit gutted for him for that because it was like, oh, what's going on now? UFC's cancelled. But it should have been, did you see Mason last night? You know, but it's nobody's fault. It was just like, well, he's really lucky that he managed to get that fight.
A fight, yeah.
Because if it was a day later, he wouldn't have.
Hey, props to Graham Boylan, mind.
Yeah.
Because all fairness to him, he said he went out there and he said, like, I'm going to do this show, and he did it. So fair play to him and the Cage Warriors team, really. Because
people don't understand how hard it is to put a show on without tickets. You know,
wow!
It's a backup, isn't it? Like, I know they've got the UFC Fight Pass money, which, you know, God knows what that is. But the amount of backup they've got from the ticket sales, you know, it's big. Like, I mean, obviously there was a lot of shows cancelled. Gutted about that.
Do you know
A lot
what
of-
I like about what Mason did though? He said he wants to have one defense at home before he thinks about moving on to the UFC, which I think is fantastic that he wants to do that. You know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's what I mean,
yeah.
and he deserves that. I mean, he headlined the big show in Cardiff once after Jack Shaw got promoted to the UFC, and then he deserves. Next sounds good. He deserves that defense at home.
Yeah.
Against whoever really. Who would you like to see?
I going back to obviously when he fought Joe McCochran. Is it McCochran?
Yeah.
So basically, I know Joe very well, and he's a good guy and stuff. But that was a good feather in his cap. I didn't see it going any other way other than Mason's way, to be honest. But Joe was a good feather in his cap, but now I think it's one of the bigger lightweight names now he needs. You know, so like someone like the French boy that Joe fought when it was the draw. I don't know his name, but that would be a good fight. You know,
Any
I know
English people?
there's
Paddy.
Paddy's there.
Like it would be good for Mason.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously Paddy's dangerous, right? He is, but that'd be good, like because he's a big name, you know, outside of the UFC. I mean, that would be good. I'd like to see that. I know Ricky's big.
Let me just put the elephant in the room. Orban Elliott's obviously there as well, you know?
Yeah, well, Ricky, that was what Ricky was just mouth.
I know. I could see over my shoulder. I could see it. No, like at the end of the day, though, like I speaking to Orban, he definitely wants the shot. But it just depends on what they want to do. At the end of the day, I feel like Cage was like, right, they got two good Welsh guys. Do they really want them fighting each other? When give it 6. They could put Mason in there. And if Mason wins and he gets his UFC shot, then it's Orban's turn to try and fight for the belt. But look, I don't think that they both care. They don't care if they fight each other. They won't care if they did. But for a fan point of view, Welsh MMA fan point of view, it is very interesting, though, isn't it?
It is. And okay, this is what could happen. How many opponents did Mason have in his last fight before he actually fought that guy? They they had pullouts?
Yeah. There was. Yeah, you're right. There was about. Didn't he have like 3 or 4 opponents? Didn't he?
Yeah.
It was something like that. It was.
So, like, Cage on his Cardiff could happen. Orban will be on the card. There could be a pullout.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm going to say it. I'd love to see Mason and Orban. I'd love to. But for the next fight for Mason, I personally believe he needs someone, UFC veteran, give him someone that name who's been there underneath them lights. See how he gets off with someone like that. I know that's probably what he wants. And I think it makes sense because going back to when I had the belt, what I was missing was that UFC veteran experience. And that's why I ended up going to Titan FC, because the first opponent they wanted to give me was a guy who had 4 UFC fights and fought TJ Dillashaw. And the second guy I fought was the guy who fought Nilton the Fighter. So I think he probably needs someone like that, really.
Like when Jack fought Vaughn and
Exactly. Yeah, that UFC veteran experience, you can't buy that. That's what you need at that level, especially if you want to go there.
I know, but needs that more quite experienced. He needs that step up, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Like, before he fights it. Like, I know he calls it, and I know he's the sort of guy, that would guess what he wants probably. You know what I mean? Because he's put himself there, and he's taught himself there, and he's great fun.
Before this quarantine lockdown, he was looking really good. Like when I was watching him. And I think it's the both of them boys are probably the next to get into that UFC slot. I truly believe that, But he always has impressed me, Orban has.
All I don't want to see is them fight at the top level like Jack and John did, because I don't want to see that happen in Wales again. My opinion.
No.
And I'll leave it at that.
I totally agree. You know, if you're going to do
But-
that, do it early on.
Yeah, but with as far as Mason's concerned, just put out there, we were going to have him on the podcast, the first podcast we did, because obviously he won the title. But we haven't done this live thing yet.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's working.
Yeah, I haven't even got any
Yeah,
other
it's-
one on no
it's all right.
shorts,
I look like Maverick in Top Gun.
Yeah.
They're a pair of aviators now.
Yeah. Oh, I got aviators, man. But yeah, I mean, so Mason will be on the next show, guys, and it's not that we avoid him. We want to get him on, but we want to see what it was like with three of us first before we stuck
Yeah.
Mason in the group, because Mason's great on the podcast.
Mason's hilarious. He just, like, for someone who wasn't most confident at speaking growing up, you know, the guy is just great with words now, and he can. He's when you have Mason on the podcast, everyone can just be quiet and just let him crack on, and he will talk for the hour, and he's got plenty to say, and he's worth it. Like, you know, he's so good. Nice glasses, James.
He was starting conversations instead of us starting conversations, wasn't he?
It was brilliant. It was fantastic. We've got a question from BJJ Black Belt, Jamie Hughes. If you want to read, Brett.
With the UFC run events in Florida in the coming weeks, what are your thoughts on fighters going into these cards without being able to full camps, not having gym open? Yeah, to be honest, that was like the big thing for me. When we were going to the next fight, it was getting to a point where I was like, look, they want me to fight. I got 3 weeks into the fight. I haven't got the right training in. I can't train with people. And at the end of the day, it boils down to the fighter's choice. If he feels happy, then brilliant. But what we got to remember is the US are not in lockdown like we are. They're not in lockdown. They get the training in their gyms. I've been seeing guys in America who are training, who are with different people. The only people who are really in lockdown, I know there's about 5 or 6 fighters in Italy who are in complete lockdown, and a slot here in the UK where we can't train. So to be honest, like, I've spoken to the guys and they've said, when do you want to fight? I said, well, give me a camp, really. Like, I'm not going to jump into a fight, and that's besides the point anyway. We're still in a lockdown when it comes to flying out of this country. We can't even fly out of this country at the minute, you know.
Yeah.
You can fly in, no?
You know.
Yeah.
Can you fly? I didn't know that.
You can fly in.
Yeah, they
And
fly
not
people. Yeah. We are in a different situation to America, and that is the thing. I mean, I've seen, like, Brett, you've probably seen the Hard Knocks guys are training hard, haven't they?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the ones I've seen.
Yeah, and like, I've seen different podcasts where you know, the guys are in the gym. They're like, "Oh, lockdown training." Well, to us, they shut gyms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the public aspect of the gym is in America is probably different. But like, as far as professional fighters are concerned, they are in the gym.
Guys, how lucky are Scotty and Aiden
And
them
Marcus.
boys to be living with each other?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be beasts by the time. Everybody else is going to be fat and slow, and they're just going to be beasts because all they've done is train.
Yeah, I know, man. I've been missing that pads and contact there. I'm watching them do pads in the background. It's frying me at the minute.
I've got a punch bag hanging up, so I'm happy.
Yeah. But I got one of them brackets tonight, I got one of them like weighted brackets, but I haven't come around to find weights for them. So every time I hit it with a good shot, and trust me, it's rare, but I do sometimes.
Yeah.
And it ends up nearly going over my next door neighbour's garden. So
yeah, like, I've seen some really good scaffolding setups.
Yeah.
Like, I got scaffolding on my line post. My line post is concreted in, so it's worked well. But it's not a heavy bag. But I've seen some good scaffolding less. Daniel Irwin's made himself a nice frame for his aqua bag, which I fancy doing, because you can leave an aqua bag out the back. Because it's just like a buoyancy aid, isn't it? Like a thing. But with that, I got to pull my bag into the house every time I use it, into the shed, because otherwise it'll get wet in the rain.
I'll leave mine in the rain.
Huh?
I'll leave mine in the rain, so the next time I hit there, I feel like I'm fighting a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a question here from David Howell.
if I had the opportunity to fight any current UFC fighter, who would you choose? Do you know what? I'm gonna go back to my choice 2 years ago to the day, really. So 2 years ago, I fought. I just literally came out the fight with Aljamain Sterling, and I had a name before the Aljamain Sterling fight. I always said if I beat Aljamain, this was going to be the name I wanted to call out afterwards. And obviously the fight didn't go my way, so I didn't get the opportunity to call him out, really. But I want to be able to fight legends of the game. I want to be able to fight people that people go, oh wow, you fought that guy. Wow, that's quite a good fight. And I feel like I have fought some really good guys in the division, but a name that really stands out for me, two people like Uriah Faber and Dominic Cruz. They would be two names which I'd be like, wow, they'd be quite two good names to have on the CV. No matter what the result would be, that would be two names that I'd be happy with to fight. Like, you know, I'd like that.
What about the triple champ? What's his name?
Oh, triple champ, Cejudo. Yeah, no, like at the end of the day, I'll fight anybody. But if you said to me like, who would be a fight? Oh, okay, put it this way. UFC are coming to Wales, your main event, who do you want to fight? I want to fight Uriah Faber or Dominic Cruz.
Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, that'd be the one I'd want, like, you know.
Stylistically, or just because their names?
Names. Names, the people they fought.
What about stylistically?
Stylistically, Cruz would be an absolute nightmare.
But like, so if you say, I'd like to fight him because of our styles, who would it be?
Oh, style-wise... that's a tougher question, that is. What, between them two, you mean?
No, just anyone? In general, anyone.
You know, I'd like to go back to the Pedro fight, if that's the case. Because now I know what I did wrong, and I think I'd improve it. I think it'd be just as good as the first fight, really, you know?
Yeah.
But that would be one. Pedro would be a good one again.
Thank you for the question. Hey, Brett, you've been training a lot with Jack and Jack Marshman, Jack Shaw, and of course you know John Phillips very well, and they were all meant to fight on the London card. Do you have any inside information of how they took the news and how they dealt with the situation?
No, I think I spoke to every single one of them. I think I spoke to John on Instagram. I spoke to Jack in the gym. And to be honest, they weren't that. Obviously, they were gutted, they're heartbroken, they didn't fight. But
they could see it coming.
And to them, they were like, "Oh well, this happened. There's nothing I can do about it." You know, I'll be honest with you. When a similar thing happened to me, ironically in UFC London with Entwistle, I took the news horrendously. You know what I mean? So all fairness to them, they were like, "Right, it is what it is. Just get on the next thing now." And their attitude as well, like all of them were in the gym the next week training again, like, you know, although it was like a relaxed week because of the coronavirus thing, but they were still there and they were still training, and I thought that was quite cool, you know. Their attitude was good, you know. They wanted to get back into a bit of training, and it was especially Jack on the Monday after, you know, that he's had the news. So this was like fight. I think it was like fight week. He was in the gym on the Monday training with the boys. Like their attitudes. That's why they're in the UFC. Their attitude to the sport is second to none. You know, Jack, and John are three amazing ambassadors for Welsh MMA. And they took the news. Obviously, they were gutted, but I think, you know, they're happy just to get back into it. And the next, you know, at the end of the day, this is a hurdle. Things like this happen in our game. You know.
A lot of people's work have been cancelled, and that's what it is. It's work. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't work. Some people have got to work. Yeah. And,
I said, when I was training with Wally, and I think I was getting a bit too stressed out about the whole situation. Really.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's happening, but like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Yes, I was getting stressed because I didn't know what was going on. Am I fighting April 25th? Am I not? And like, realistically, you just got to sit back and go, well, it is what it is, really, you know?
Yeah, but it was like, everyone's in the same situation tonight. I mean, like, fights or not, that's your job. Like I said to him tonight, I said, look, Brett, you know, you could have not fought in January, not got
and then this
paid,
would happen.
Not had a bonus, and then you'll be knackered, and your missus will be, you know, the only one working. So there's other people out there who get paid. Like Brett obviously doesn't live on a week.
No,
Some people
no.
live by the week financially. And,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a fighter, you're prepared for these things to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're
That's what
prepared not to work for a couple of months. Whereas
that's what I
Joe
spoke my
Bloggs
missus.
isn't.
My missus is So basically, she's working in the hospital and stuff, and I basically was looking for jobs while this was going on, because in my head I'm thinking, well, if I'm not earning money like her, is there something I can do right now so I can earn a bit of money coming through? You know, I don't want to sit here and spend money, but like, it'd be nice to make a bit. But you know, I'm lucky that I'm speaking to the UFC now. I want to know what the situation is about missing this fight on the 25th of April, because technically I was in the same boat as the boys in UFC London. You know, I found out about the April 25th pullout, and that was on like the 15th, 16th of April. I found out about that. No, the 14th of April, I found out that it probably wasn't on. About the same sort of time as UFC London, they got told. So, you know, and realistically,
I think that the only difference is, and I know, like, I know you're gonna fight your corner. The only difference is, like, your fight wasn't actually announced. You know what I mean? It didn't get to the point of that because of everything that happened. So,
but this is where this comes into it. But I've signed a contract to fight on that show, the same as the Scottish fight that Danny Henry has. So we're both in the same boat. But I've spoken to Sean Shelby, and they're working stuff out with different fighters. So we'll see what happens over the next few days.
Yeah. We've got a question from Isaac Downs, one of your students and one of your training partners, Brett. What are the top 5 matchups in Welsh amateur MMA when this is all over? What do you reckon, guys?
Oof.
Personally, I still want to see
the Lords
versus Ricky George. I think that fight was made platinum judo, and
I thought he meant Medium O's versus Ricky George. Well, that's a bit of a weight difference, that is.
Yeah, that fight I want to see. Also, I want to see Caleb. Caleb was supposed to fight Levi and Owain. I want to see them.
A fight I wanted to see is the one who just sent the question, Isaac Downs versus Ryan Lockyer from the Matt Academy. In the Welsh MMA Cymru trials, they paid off and they sparred, and you could pay a lot of money to watch that. And if they put that in the cage, those fireworks.
Yeah, all these fights will have to happen in Wales. That's what I'm saying. They have to happen in Wales.
Yeah, that's right.
That was when we had away. That was them trials, and I did. Yeah, that'd be cool. There's I was thinking of a couple of fights the other day. Like Brian called out Dan, didn't he?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's a fight that'd be interesting watching. Yeah, that
would be another good one.
I did a bit of training with Daniel Morris. He don't spar light.
No, I don't think I don't think any of them do. Like
they don't. I was just gonna say that'd be class.
They're from the valleys.
I've never enjoyed the sound of a bell after sparring as much as when I was sparring with Daniel Morris. You know.
Well, Owain's always injured. He's a flyweight fighting his way out of the gym. You know. But you know. I don't know. There's a lot of who else? Let me think.
Oh, there's a couple of big names there. Oh, wait there. What about? Let's go up north. Is it Mike Morris?
Mike Morris, yeah.
Yeah. What weight's Mike Morris?
Welter.
Is he welter or is he more than that?
No, he's welter.
Welter. I'd like to see him maybe. I was going to say medium O's, but medium O's like 84 kilos.
Medium O's can be a welterweight.
Not now. I bet you 10 he's older a bit now.
Yeah, I know, but he was died into 84 and he was like 81.
Maybe. I think
he was like that he was supposed to be. I mean, I think if he wanted to, medium O's could be a welterweight.
Yeah, you got Alex Gill versus medium O's. That'd be a good fight if he can get the welterweight. You know, there's loads and loads of fights there that, like, you know, if you really sat down with a pen and paper and put them together, you could probably have a really, really good amateur Welsh MMA massive card, like, you know.
I think there's going to be a lot of new guys after this lockdown making debuts. There's going to be a lot of people making debuts because they're going to be thinking about this the whole time, right? They're going to be fit. I was talking to a couple of our guys from the gym who hadn't fought before, who are raring to go now. They were like, just before the lockdown, they were thinking, but now they've had time and I think they want to go. I think there's going to be a lot of new guys come through after this lockdown and a lot of nice matchups to make. Looking forward to it.
Be good.
Looking forward to it.
Tell you, I'd like to see fight quite a lot over the next year. He's watching now. Levi Batchelor. You've been training a lot with him lately. He's quality from what I've seen.
He's a grafter. He's always grafting the gym. And I'll be honest. I said this to both sides. You know, I train in KGP and I train in show mixed martial arts and Caleb and him would have been a scrap like that. I think as an amateur MMA fight, that's probably the highest level of skill I've seen in an amateur MMA bout ever at Welsh MMA. They're both good enough to fight professionally, really. You know what I mean? And
they were meant to open the show as well. Okay, Johnny.
That could be like main event for like an amateur card. Like, you know, I think
it's just good. Like that's the good thing about, like, obviously Caleb's had a lot of striking fights. Levi with his grappling, he's very slick, you know. And the composure is so good. Then the two of them when on stage, you know. When I say on stage, on whatever discipline they do, and that's the way it used to be done. That's the way it used to be done in MMA.
Another fight that was going to happen on the past weekend on Budo was going to be Josh O'Connor versus Rob Bennett. All well scrapped for the Budo title. That was going to be a great scrap. I think Josh O'Connor has got a bright future. Rob Bennett's tough as they come, and I was really looking forward to that. But
talking about Josh O'Connor, I think he's someone that that Welsh MMA needs to keep their eye on at the minute. I don't know if he's fighting welter or if he's fighting lightweight. I'm not sure. He's quite a big lightweight, to be honest.
Yeah, he's fighting a lightweight, and I know like he sort of works his way down. From what I can gather, he works his way down to lightweight doing a camp. I think he's the sort of guy that'll turn pro soon. I can't see him having many amateur fights because he's got a lifetime of martial arts. The same as yourself, Brett. You didn't need many because you've got a lifetime of that, you know, competition. So I think he'll be a pro, but he might not make featherweight, but he might make lightweight a lot easier. I don't know.
Yeah, there's another guy from CF20. Is it Johan? Is it?
Yeah, he's
do you know? I train with him, and he's someone that I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. You know, I managed to train with him, and he was someone that my brother actually spoke about, and I trained with him first, and I didn't know who he was before I actually started training with him, and then we spoke afterwards, and he said who he was and where he trains, and you know, the CF24, they've got good MMA, they've got a good MMA coach here with Dino, someone who I trained with a long time, and they've got some good skilled guys there, you know. So with the likes of like Josh O'Connor, Johan, Ricky George, and stuff like that, they got a good up and coming sort of team coming there, like, you know.
Ricky versus Owen's got to happen as well.
Yeah.
With
that Johan in the original Welsh trials, because there was so many people there, I didn't really notice him, and like Wayne obviously noticed him and invited him to be part of the Welsh squad. In the Welsh squad training, of course, he stood out then because I was focusing on people I didn't know as much. The guy was throwing people around for fun, and he's like, 18, 19? I was like...
he really impressed me, all fairness to him. Like, and I think, and it's, especially if you're a quiet person, you're not loud and boisterous, you don't stand out in the crowd, for someone to impress you who's like that, must be good. Like, you know, Josh O'Connor's similar. He's very quiet. He's not loud-mouthed, you know. He just gets on with his training. And, you know, it was good. Especially, I'm gutted that obviously with all this coronavirus, we didn't get to see the some of the fights in the IMAFs, because it would have been really interesting to see how the team would have got off, like, you know.
Well, let's talk about that. Not just the IMAFs, the cadets.
Yeah.
Ridyan from my gym is heartbroken. There is no.
He's special, man.
championship.
He's special. Ridyan is. He's going to be a star, man.
He'd be good. I had to have the chat with him a couple of days ago, saying, "Look, do it. You can go to the IMAFs every year after this year for years, because you're like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's the right decision when you think about how Italy at the time the decision was made was like the epicenter, you know, but the World Championships for the seniors and juniors are still scheduled for Kazakhstan at the end of the year. So I'm hoping this will sort of blow over by then, and fighters get enough time to get a camp in before.
Sorry, repeat that. What's happening?
So the World Championships for the seniors and juniors from 18 and above is still scheduled to take place in Kazakhstan in November. So hopefully that goes ahead if people get enough time to get a camp in before then as well. So
I mean, it doesn't take long, does it, when you're amateur to get fit, I suppose. I mean,
no.
I don't know. They should be like everyone's out getting their one exercise a day. So
yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be hard. They should be chomping at the bit as soon as the gym's open. I can't see it too long.
I know they've got a really, really good MMA background in Kazakhstan and amateur, haven't they, right?
Oh, the Kazakhstan fighters. Apart from like Wales and Sweden as well, I love the Kazakhs because they're so well rounded. They got their wrestling, their judo, their striking, and no matter wherever the fight takes place, they're comfortable, you know, and they've got a proper amateur setup, and they're all homegrown fighters as well. They don't recruit fighters from other countries and give them a passport. So these guys are all legit Kazakh and quality fighters. We got about 5 minutes left. We got a bit of a question. It's a bit of fun, like. So, any interest in joining Welsh wrestling? I think that's a pro wrestling thing. So Brett, when your UFC career is done?
What do you mean when it's done? I do it now.
So what's your pro wrestling? What's your finisher?
My finisher would be probably. I was a massive fan of Triple. Yeah, you talk. The kick and the goal. No, I was a massive fan of Triple H when I was younger, so it'd have to be the pedigree.
Wow, yeah. do you practice the pedigree on Karis?
No, she filled me in.
You don't practice the Karis.
I do a Becky to get the arms behind the back, and I
What was their kid company said? He said, on my Instagram, we'll have to get, because Reggie went to see wrestling and all the West wrestling, and like it was the best thing he'd ever seen, and all of a sudden Brett was nothing to him anymore. And
just kid company all day long.
And then I put something on Instagram and I said, Brett, you know, whatever. And kid goes like, oh, Brett will have to come have a go if you'll wear lycra. And I said, if Brett will wear lycra. I've never seen him without lycra.
I'm wearing lycra. I'm wearing lycra now.
But
I'd give it a bash. I'd love to hit someone with a steel chair.
Yeah, well, you are from the Bond.
Garrett Hill just wrote in, I can't wait to see Talon, Jones, and Deacon compete more when it's all over. Two young lads, absolute beasts.
Yeah. That Deacon had like a beard when he was 12, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. I haven't seen much of Talon, so he's definitely someone I'm going to keep an eye out. But Deacon, I've actually trained a little bit with Deacon, and he really impressed me. A big guy though, big guy.
Yeah, huge.
I fought his dad.
Oh, you fought his dad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
And but like Talon, I seen him in Giffy's show out in Abbeville last year.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I've never seen someone who enjoyed, like, do you know, like Tobias out in Sweden enjoys hurting people?
That he scares the life out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talon's just the same. He was like a cat in a mouse, just like layering this guy off and then punishing him, and then it was cruel, and it was really enjoyable to watch. So Talon and Deacon are both
bully
as well.
Yeah. I have nightmares over Tobias.
Yeah. Giffey's show is one of the ones that had to get cancelled. I'm gutted because he had a really good stand-up event coming up as well, and they had to cancel it. So it was supposed to be next week, I think.
So
they put a lot of work in. So
guys, that we've done an hour now, and you're said to only do an hour. So just let us know what you think of this format while this lockdown goes on. I mean, I can't wait to go back to the studio because I like the food next door. It is
And the
fantastic.
cake.
yeah.
So
cake is food.
once again, let us know what you guys think of this, and just message in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you for Brett and James for coming on again. This day of podcast. I'm just
No worries.
And next time we'll have Mason Jones on. So any questions from Mason or Brett or me and Ricky, then get ready.
thanks, guys.
Boosh. How do we switch it off?